So this is one of those videos where I have no semblance of structure. I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. I guess I'm just going to kind of speak my truth and let my heart take control of the wheel. With that being said, I guess I want to start off by explaining why I haven't been as active on YouTube. I know I've already made multiple videos like this in the past, but I have seen an influx of channel growth, which I am extremely grateful for. I don't want you guys to ever think that I am not grateful for any of the growth that I have received or am receiving or will receive through my YouTube channel, because YouTube has changed my life, but that wouldn't be possible without you guys, the people watching this. And like I said, I've seen a recent influx of channel growth because one of my videos has essentially gone viral. I recently reached 1 million views on a video for the very first time in my channel's history, which is crazy to think about, that I'm about 900 videos in, actually over 900 videos in as I'm filming this, and I only have one video with 1 million views. Like I said, I'm not saying that to say that I'm ungrateful or anything. It's just, it's crazy. Everyone has their own path, and I just want to go ahead and put that out there for any of the up and coming smaller YouTubers who are maybe struggling to get to that point where they're able to do this full time for a living. Because not everyone is going to have that same path. Some people go viral with their first video. Some people post 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 videos before they get that first 1 million view video. The craziest thing about that video is that I posted it well over a year ago. That was curly hair Jordan. I'm a completely different person now. But that's just the way that YouTube works, and that's the way that life works. Sometimes you plant those seeds, but you don't reap the rewards of the seeds that you've planted until many moons later. And this is a primary example of that. Now, with that being said, I do want to explain, like I said, why I'm not as active on YouTube at this point in my life. So I recently released my second book in the calendar year of 2022, which is crazy to think about. Grateful to have been a vessel for that project, and I'm actually a significant way into my third book. Okay, so I've been really working behind the scenes. Don't get me wrong, I'm not just sitting around my house, or my apartment, I guess, watching Netflix and just eating junk food and doing all of that. No, I'm still out here working. But it doesn't really feel like work in the same way that me talking to my phone right now doesn't feel like work. And I'm saying that to say that this is what I want to get back to. I want to get back to being able to create content without really thinking about the financial implications of the content that I'm creating. When I made that video, to anyone who's still a virgin, the first and only video at this point in time that has over 1 million views on my channel, I wasn't thinking about the financial aspect of it. Okay, at the time I was still living with my parents, didn't really have any bills to pay, so I was just making content that I felt was right. Content that I felt resonated with me and resonated with my supporters. And because of that, I was able to create a video that, even though it's yellow marked and probably hasn't even made me that much money, was still able to help a lot of people out, and also help me out in the sense that it's brought a lot of new subscribers to my channel, which, like I said, I'm very grateful for. But that's what I need to get back to. I've made a lot of videos in the past saying that I lost my passion for YouTube, and I never lied a single time. Okay, there have been many times along this journey where I have lost my passion for YouTube. But what I'm realizing now is that it's not so much that I lost the passion for YouTube, it's that I outgrew my old self. You see, something that I've realized, and I think I've mentioned this in previous videos, but like I said, this is mostly for my newer subscribers. I feel like YouTube takes me into this mental headspace where I become so preoccupied with surface level things that I lose that transparency. I lose that authenticity, that sensitivity, and that vulnerability, which has enabled me to build the platform in the first place. You see, my platform has been built upon transparency and just me being my authentic self and me being open and honest, a lot more open and honest than 99.9% of people are willing to be. That's my calling card. Vulnerability. I'm just being myself. But it seems like whenever I catch that wave from that vulnerability, that's when my mind, my ego begins to take over, and I begin to view YouTube as a business, as a means for progressing in my life. But what I'm realizing is that I don't want to be a part of that cycle anymore. I don't want to progress in that way. I don't want to treat YouTube like a business. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to demonetize my videos. You probably already saw an ad on this video, if not multiple ads, because this is my only source of income. And I want it to remain that way because this provides me with the platform to work on my writing, to continue working on my books at my own discretion. Working for myself is an asset that I would not trade for the entire world. YouTube can be extremely stressful at times, but the freedom that comes with it is well worth the stress, in my opinion. For everyone, that may not be true, but for me it is. And like I said, I'm extremely grateful for the platform that I have and for the opportunity that I have to work for myself, to be self-employed, to say that I don't work for any other man, for any woman, for anybody else other than myself at the age of 22, when a lot of people, the vast majority of people, will never get to say that in their entire lives. I'm extremely grateful for that. But at the same time, I shouldn't view YouTube as work. You see, I know I said I've been working when it comes to my writing, but really that's not work to me. I write because it reflects a part of myself that calls back to my inner child. When I used to write those short stories after I'd finished my work in class. And when I would just be my authentic self without fear of repercussions. And for a while, that's what YouTube was as well. YouTube and writing were two different aspects, two different lanes on the same road, in that they both provided me with different avenues for self-expression, for expression of the deepest, truest self. Hence, me making the video about being a virgin, or multiple videos about being a virgin. I don't think I was a virgin when I made that video, but just being able to make a video where I addressed people in that situation and being able to resonate with those people because I was being authentic. Like I said, that is my calling card and that is my brand, ironically. And when I allow my mind to cloud my judgment, that's when things begin to take a turn for the worse, because now I view it as a job. I view it as work. And that's why me taking these breaks from YouTube has been utterly necessary. It's because when I get to the point where YouTube becomes an addiction for me, where it's feeding into my egoic desire for power as opposed to my spiritual desire for freedom, that's when I have to be aware enough to take that step back and recalibrate myself through activities that call back to my inner child, such as writing. And through partaking in those activities on a consistent basis, I'm able to, like I said, recalibrate myself such that I'm able to create content like this, where I can be my authentic self. And this is what it's all about. Okay, this is what it's all about. It's not about making as much money as possible. It's not about getting as many views as possible. Yes, these are subsidiary objectives of any YouTuber. You don't post a video to get 0 views. Just like you don't write a book to make 0 sales. If I didn't want to make sales on my book, I would have never published it. I would have just kept it in my Google Drive. If I didn't want to get views on this video, I would have kept it private, or I would have never recorded it to begin with. But what I've realized is that these are subsidiary objectives that you cannot allow to taint the primary objective, which is creative self-expression, creating and inspiring. The only way to inspire people is to resonate with them. And the only way to resonate with them is to be your authentic self, ironically. A lot of people think that you need to play a role. You need to perpetuate this image that you're somebody else that other people will relate to. But more often than not, you'll end up attracting the wrong audience. And I feel like, in a sense, that kind of began to happen on my channel. I began to see a lot of comments that let me know that my audience wasn't necessarily in alignment with my true self. And for a while, I built up a lot of inner resentment toward not only that subsection of my audience, but YouTube as a whole. And I developed this very cynical mindset that people are generally pre-programmed to pursue negativity. But what I realized is that's only as true as I make it out to be. And I have nobody but myself to blame. Like I said in my video on how to be a man, you have to be willing and able to take accountability. And I'm making this video to take accountability for all of the mistakes that I've made in the past as it pertains to my branding. And I understand that videos like this may be frowned upon in certain circles, especially the manosphere, where I firmly planted myself at certain points of my journey. But that's not me. If this content doesn't resonate with you, if this video does not resonate with you, or if this type of video doesn't resonate with you, this is where we're going to have to part ways, because I choose myself. I'm choosing me. And by choosing me, I'm choosing all of the people who I'm actually genuinely meant to inspire. I can't inspire everyone. I can't please everyone. Kendrick Lamar said it best. You can't please everybody. You can't. It's impossible. So my focus during this season of my life is doing what resonates with me, letting go of the need for validation, letting go of the need for material items that will enhance my brand image. It sounds stupid. It sounds really, really stupid, but a lot of content creators, a lot of influencers in general think this way, and they're not completely misguided in this assumption that investing into material items like designer clothing and foreign cars will draw in more people to your platform. But more often than not, they're not the type of people that genuinely want to see you win. A lot of times it's people who subconsciously envy you and your transparency. And when they see your transparency, that's when their true colors begin to show. And I'm realizing that now as I unapologetically choose myself, that not everyone that I thought was in my corner is actually in my corner. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with letting go of the people who are not meant to be a part of my journey, even if just through the screen. I'm realizing that the people who are meant to be a part of my journey, the people who are meant to support me, they'll be there. And the people who aren't, won't. It's as simple as that. And like I said, I'm just giving myself permission to allow my inner child to express himself and to really live in my authenticity, to live in my truth. This plaque right here, this 100K YouTube plaque, I'm grateful for it. But at the end of the day, it's just a plaque. It's a piece of metal. It's a material thing. What really matters is the impact. Being able to inspire people. I know it sounds cliche. I know it sounds corny and cheesy and politically correct, all of this, but anybody who has a platform, even if it's a small platform, if you've ever had the opportunity to receive that feedback from somebody, letting you know that you genuinely changed their life, that you altered the trajectory of their life, that is more rewarding than any number could ever be. Period. Because it's real. These numbers aren't real. That's real. Inspiration is real. Creativity is real. But in order to do that, like I said, I have to recalibrate. I have to take that time to recalibrate. And with all of that being said, I don't really have a set upload schedule at this moment in time. I'm just going to kind of create videos as I see fit. I know I said that I am done live streaming, and that is true. That was not clickbait. I know a lot of you guys probably thought I was clickbaiting with that video, but I wasn't. Okay, I wasn't. I already canceled my StreamYard subscription. I'm done streaming for the foreseeable future because I need to take the opportunity to really distance myself from that feedback. And that's not to say that, like I said, I don't appreciate my audience. It's more so to allow myself and my authenticity to shine through without that external validation, that external feedback. Because oftentimes, especially when I'm in that state of vulnerability, I can take that information without that grain of salt. And it affects my ability to process myself and my feelings. And it alters my sensitivity. I develop tougher skin, which seems like a good thing. It seems like a beneficial attribute to have, but not if it comes at the expense of your authenticity and your transparency and your vulnerability. So me personally, I'm making a choice to live within my truth and to kind of create my content as I see fit. Like I said, if this content doesn't resonate with you, then this is where we're going to have to part ways. But I'm going to create the content that I feel is best, that I feel resonates with me, and I'm just gonna live with whatever consequences happen of that, because I'm not afraid of losing everything or anything really, because I've already gotten rid of everything.